How would you like to hear about 13 facts about Halloween? Well, alright. Here we go. Okay. So fact number 1. It is illegal to sell silly string or use silly string in Hollywood on Halloween. There's actually a $1,000 fine. It was outlawed in 2004 after thousands of bored people would buy it on the streets of Hollywood from illegal vendors and vandalize the streets. So the maximum fine is $1,000 or 6 months in jail for use, possession, or sale, distribution, sale, distribution of silly string in Hollywood from 12:01 a.m. October 31st to 12 p.m. November 1st. Yeah, I don't know why I took a pause there. Dressing up on Halloween comes from Celts. They believed Sam Hain, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll leave it on the screen, you can figure it out whenever. Was time when the wall between our world and the paranormal world was porous and spirits could get through. Wait, wasn't that a church thing? Because of this belief, it was common for the for them to wear costumes and masks during the festival to ward off or befuddle any evil spirits. The Macaneer Halloween comes from the Catholics. Yeah, some people are like, Halloween's evil. Well, technically you started it, partly. Hallowmass was a 3-day Catholic holiday where saints were honored and people prayed for prayed for the recently deceased. At the start of the 11th century, it was decreed by the Pope that it would last from October 31st, All Hallows Eve, to November 2nd, most likely because that's when when that last holiday I said was celebrated, and the church was trying to convert the pagans. So this was just sort of a competition thing, okay. All Hallows Eve then evolved into All Hallows Eve, and by the 18th century it was commonly referred to as Halloween. The origin of jack-o'-lanterns actually comes from the Celtic folklore for because yeah, we should carve turnips, not pumpkins, because that's what it was originally, actually turnips. Comes from the Celtic folklore that stringy farmer named Jack, who would constantly play tricks on the devil. Devil responded by forcing him to wander purgatory with only a burning lump of coal from hell. Jack took the coal and made a lantern from a turnip, using it to guide his lost soul. The myth was brought over by Irish families fleeing the potato famine in the 1980s. And since turnips were hard to come by in the U.S., pumpkins were used as a substitute to guide lost souls and evil spirits like Jack of the Lantern away. Jack-o'-lantern. It's clever. Halloween symbols aren't random. Black cats, spiders, and bats are all Halloween symbols because their spooky history and ties to Wiccans. Yeah, that part, you got us. Like churches that are like hardcore about it. You got us on that. All three were thought to be the familiars of witches in the Middle Ages and are often associated with bad luck. Bats are further connected to Halloween by the ancient that holiday that begins with an S that I can't remember. Ritual, I don't know how to pronounce. Ritual of building a bonfire, which drove away insects and attracted bats. Fears of poisoned Halloween candy are unfounded. Yeah, that's right. One of the biggest fears, by the way, one of parents' biggest fears is that their children's Halloween candy is poisoned or contained razor blades. Like, say, the Jack's Film song, "There's razors in your apples, link in the description to..." That's song, I can't think of any other way of saying it. But in reality, the fear is almost entirely unfounded. There are 2 known cases of this happening, both involving relatives. In the 1970s, a boy died of heroin overdose. The investigators found it was in his candy, but in a twist, they later discovered the boy had actually consumed some of his uncle's heroin stash. The family had sprinkled some on the candy to cover up the incident. That's a cover-up of your family member's death from his uncle's... Yeah, that's wrong. Even more horrific... Oh, jeez. In 1974, Timothy O'Brien... Yeah. Timothy O'Brien died after eating a pixie stick his father had laced with cyanide to collect on the insurance money. But no, that's... Sorry, yeah, you can tell I'm reading these just now, because, my response to that... Halloween and candy industry supposedly influenced daylight savings time. Candy makers supposedly lobbied to extend daylight savings time to the beginning of November to get an extra hour of daylight so children collect even more candy, thus forcing people to purchase more candy to meet the demand. They wanted it so badly that during the 1950 hearings of daylight savings, they put candy pumpkins on the seats of every senator. The candy industry disputes this account. Invented by George Renninger, I guess that's how you pronounce it, a candy maker at the whatever candy company of Philadelphia in the 1980s. Candy corn was... Okay, yeah, that's who the guy was. Candy corn was originally called buttercream candies and chicken feed, since back then corn was commonly used as food for livestock. They even had a rooster on the candy boxes. It had no association to Halloween or fall, and was sold seasonally from March to November. After World War II, advertisers began marketing it as a special Halloween treat due to its colors and ties to the fall festival. Oh, that was another fact, by the way. Candy corn was originally known as chicken feed. See, they got the, like, listing weird. Some things are off to the side under pictures, so I gotta look for the actual facts. So yeah, candy corn was not originally associated. It was actually known as chicken feed. A full moon on Halloween is extremely rare. Really? Well, we'll have to look into that this year. Though a common trope in horror movies, Halloween decorations with witches flying across the full moon, the next full moon, oh, I guess I don't need to check on my phone, won't occur until, yeah, the next full moon on Halloween, I should say, won't occur until the year 2020. The most recent Halloween full moon was back in 2001, and before that it was 1955. Halloween is still the Wiccan New Year. Yeah, I guess they have the New Year then. Halloween originates from a Celtic tradition called how do you pronounce that name for that day? Whatever. A festival that marketed the end of Celtic calendar in the Ireland, Scotland, and Isle of Man. That was the end of the sentence. I should have ended like the end of a sentence. They believed it was a time that spirits and fairies could enter our world, and Celtics would put up our treats and food to placate. How do you pronounce? Placate the spirits. Sometimes a place at the table was even set for the souls of the dead. Wiccans still celebrate this holiday as the New Year celebration today. 11. Trick-or-treating has been around for a long time. A few more facts, or two. Versions of trick-or-treating have existed since medieval times. In the past, it was known as guising, where children and poor adults went around in costumes during Hallowmass, begging for food and money in exchange for songs and prayers. It was also known as souling. Trick-or-treating as we know it was repopularized by cartoons. Trick-or-treating was brought to America by Ireland and became popular during the early 20th century, but died out during World War II when sugar was rationed. After the rationing ended in 1947, children's magazine Jack and Jill, radio program Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, and the Peanuts comic strip all helped to repopularize the tradition by dressing up in costumes and asking for candy from door to door. By 1952, trick-or-treating was hugely popular again. And the final fact is, Halloween is the second most commercial holiday. Halloween is the second most commercial American holiday of the year. Gee, I wonder what the first one is. The candy industry in America ranks in an average of $2 billion annual dollars thanks to Halloween. That's 9 million pounds of chocolate. Sorry, 90 million pounds of chocolate. Americans spend an estimated $6 billion on Halloween annually, including candy, costumes, and decorations, according to History Channel. The most commercial holiday in the U.S. is, of course, Christmas. You'll see the advertisements all the way in September. Anyways, that was 13 facts on Halloween. I should talk about the origin of Halloween next. Anyways, that was 13 facts about Halloween. Happy trick-or-treating and good night. Happy Halloween. This is the end of the video. Good night. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Well, I guess you can watch more of my videos. Yeah, you can stay here and watch my videos more. Please do. Anyways, happy Halloween. Good night.